respects for eyes. I can see right through you.
Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton, and I'm here with
Mike Snyderman. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. How was the grind yesterday?
Yesterday was a losing day, I believe, playing the OPS series on Carbon.
Oh.
Although I did have an interesting Monday, though.
Okay.
Right after, I can't remember if I told you this. I repeat myself. But the big tournament of the night, this is the tournament I won, by the way, a few months ago, which was a $40K where I won like $9,400. And I had the same tournament again, and I was running good, and I made the final table. I was second in chips when the final table began. Nice. And I finished seventh.
Oh, bummer.
So the funny thing is I was going to do – this would be a perfect chance to kind of do and discuss a few hands as sort of an anatomy of a breakdown of what goes on at a tournament. But anyway, I don't know if my subscription is up on my poker tracker, but I cannot – pull the tournament up here for whatever reason. So, But anyways, I guess it was, it's semi-profitable, although last night was bad. It's kind of funny how we were talking to Mark, how, I should never rebuy into a tournament more than once. And I rebought into the high roller like 5 times. Oh, so wow. I was in for like $1,200. I needed to come in like 7th to break. There was over 10,000 for first. And, I know there's a player the other night in the $500 tournament rebought 6 times, and I'm like, this guy's an idiot. And I checked the results the next morning, and he had won it for $18K. So sometimes that works. How about you? Have you got a chance to play any poker the last few days?
Let's see. Oh, I did play a little turbo tournament on. I guess it was Monday. What day is today? Wednesday? Yeah, Monday. And I bricked that one. It was a turbo one, and then after that I ground some 25, 50 cent no limit. I played 3 tables for like an hour and a half or 2 hours and lost $18. So nothing too great. I think I need to either. Yeah, I don't know what it was. If I was, I didn't feel like I was playing. I felt like maybe I was playing too many hands. I have a tournament indicator for tournaments, so I can use my heads-up display with that. But with cash games, I don't have a heads-up display, so I have no idea really what I'm playing or what other people are playing. I just go by feel.
Okay. Yeah. Well, on Bovada, I don't know how much the heads-up display helps anyways, but yeah, I guess if you play enough hands, it certainly, if you're at the same table with the same guys, it helps. But
yeah, it typically at the cash games on that site, you'll get probably in a 2-hour session, you'll probably have 4 or 5 people that are there the whole time, and then other people just kind of come in and out. At a 9-handed table in a couple hours, there'll be 3 seats that are just constantly moving in and out, and then the rest are fairly steady. And then, you have 4 or 5 people that are there pretty much the duration. They're probably the regulars,
right?
And yeah, which makes me think I if I'm gonna play more cash on Bovada, I should probably get the cash HUD, the cash game HUD, and not just have the tournament one.
Can't hurt.
No, not at all. I know it helps me a lot with the tournament, and like when we were playing the other Sunday, I didn't even want to play the tournaments without the HUD. I'm that, I guess, dependent on it, especially when you got 3 or 4 tables up. It's like I don't know how anyone could keep track, especially when there's no names. It's just a number.
Sure.
And there's people moving in and out, and it's like, you can't keep track of that. Or, I mean, if you can, you got to be extremely diligent.
It's kind of funny how we were talking about don't rely on your HUD, and I think this final table, I was just way too active early, and I think a couple of them were HUD. Like I saw a guy was a wide opener, so I 3-bet him with King 6 from the button. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're 3-betting from the button, people are very suspicious, and he immediately ripped it in on me. And then I got 3-bet by a guy who had a pretty high 3-bet percentage, and I saw he C-bet 85% of the time or more, which is considered kind of unbalanced and exploitable, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So I was going to float and hope he stopped and take it down with a bet, but I floated and then he bet again big on the turn, and I decided to raise. It was like a 6-deuce-deuce-5 board, so much better for his range. He's more likely to have pairs, and he immediately jammed it in. and I had a couple more raise fold. I mean, I don't know. Can't blame it on the HUD, but yeah, I think. Well, I certainly wish I could do it over. I mean, there's $8,000 more for first.
Yeah.
But I definitely would have laid back and just kind of let a few people. And then, well, someone open ace queen, someone three bet shoved like 15 big blinds, and I know on the software, I swear to God, on the person with the smaller chip stack for the first 10 minutes of a final table never gets knocked out. So this was mathematically an absolute call. I'm ahead of their range, and they had pocket fives, and I'm like, they have. I mean, I pretty much called the hand ahead of time. I'm like, they've got some sort of middle pair, and they're going to win a flip here, and that's what happened. It's hard to fold there, but you notice certain patterns with the software. I think if you play the same site repetitively. But anyways, it's weird. Every time I start giving up, I'm just like good enough on poker where it seems like silly just to stop playing. I mean, it's provided a decent amount of money for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So every time I'm down, and if I play the rest of this series over the next couple of weeks, I feel pretty strongly I'll have at least one 5K or more score, which I should do. Although I think I want to go back to the Commerce and play tournaments. But the other thing I wanted to quickly mention. Oh no, you have something to say. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say you should do a review of one of those tournaments with Mark.
Well, I wanted to with this one.
Yeah, okay.
Mark Aliotto offered to give me a free hand history review, and I'll have to get on to see if I can find it. But I pulled up my my HUD this morning and couldn't find it because I wanted to discuss maybe a couple of specific hands. The other thing I wanted to mention, I thought this was fascinating. How I haven't even noticed this. I mean, we were talking about how terrible my December was, and then we were talking about that hand with Killing Bird, about how I lost the big $4,500 hand with a guy who had running runner.
Yeah.
I was like, if I won that, I would have had a winning month of January, which made me feel good.
That's what's so sick about tournaments. It's just like
right.
They boil down to these 3 moments in a month.
Right. Well, that was the big cash hand I lost though, which pushed me, which I started off the month of January awful. It would have made it a winning month, but I know I fought back, and I was just looking. And I didn't even realize this. I've had 11 straight winning cash sessions at Oceans.
Wow.
And some like 5 of them are under $500, and a couple are like under 100. And it's pretty funny. And only 2 are over 1,000. So it hasn't really been enough money, especially since I've played a few tournaments and bricked like 3 1Ks over at the Commerce. But without even realizing it, I think I've become smarter with poker. I've been buying in a little shorter, buying into 1,200. And like the other night, I got down to like 500 something bucks, and usually I would have immediately put 900 more chips on the table. But I was like, nursing my small bankroll. I wanted to save that money for Commerce live tournaments, which I do well in. So I took my $500 and then won a couple pots and then doubled up and got out of there. And I booked a $235 session in 2 hours.
Good for you. Good for you.
So, maybe I'm slowly getting a little smarter here. Without even realizing it, I'm just showing a little more discipline. And I mean, every session there's still going to be a couple crazy bluffs. And but like I said, well, I've got some red in my little ledger here because I played some 5-10 at Commerce and lost 3 or 4 sessions there. But then I looked at just the Oceans and 11 in a row winning. So
good for you, man. Good for you.
Well, like I said, it's baby steps. Although it is still funny. I love looking at the statistics. Sometimes they're funny. Because I had in the beginning of the month, beginning of January, a couple of just horrible sessions, including losing one 6,300. I'm looking at my totals for the year, and in 211 hours, I am up $207 at cash.
In what?
In 211 hours of playing,
I
am up $207 at cash. So I'm making 98 cents an hour.
Oh.
I am a Indonesian grave digger is pretty much, I think, probably the
wow. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, because I was losing so much before, and I had a couple really bad, it's like, oh, if I just took these 2 bad hands out, for God's sakes, I'm up 10,000 and I'm making my $50 an hour, which is the goal.
Yeah. That's
not how it works. But anyways, it's just kind of,
well, you're in the green, right?
Yeah, in the black.
You're
no.
No. You're up. Yeah, you're up. Well,
I'm up $207 there.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
I'm up.
Well, how are you for the last month?
The last month, I'm still down a little bit because even though I've had 7 straight winning sessions at Oceans. Only one was more than 1,000. And there's actually a couple Commerce 5-10 hands I thought might be interesting to discuss.
Oh yeah.
I was down like 2,000 or 3,000 at Commerce in cash, and probably down 2,000 or 3,000 in tournament. So I'm down like 1,500 for the month.
Okay.
Although right now, confident in my I'm always confident in my online tournament game, but I'm feeling better about cash. And that was the other thing about this night where I was down to $550 or whatever and got up to 200. There's 2 or 3 times now in the last, I forgot to mention this, in the last month where I've helped break a game by saying, no, I'm not playing 5-handed.
Okay.
I've just gotten up or wait, you know what I mean? Or it's the must move. And if it's with top guys. So this other night, which got me ahead was I actually flopped quad 5s and the guy had runner straight. So, I doubled up.
Nice. And he
was the bad player at the table or whatever and he left. And then I'm just sitting there with 4 pros. And I'm saying, nope, I'm done.
Yeah. Good.
So,
good for you. That's something you couldn't have done a month ago.
Yeah. So like I said, quitting is something hopefully I've done some, my quitting game is just top notch right now. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, like Tindler said, it's a skill.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't. I told you how I was just totally fired up after talking to Mark Alioto and all the things I was going to do, including mental coach and stuff. And I mean, right now I'm a little strapped for money. So after my next 5-figure score, which shouldn't be long, if this is counterintuitive to be waiting to make money before you invest in learning how to make money, but that's just the way it's got to be right now. But either way, I've made some improvements, and we'll see. Like I said, if I get knocked out of a 1K on the bubble here when or on the final table bubble when I get it in aces pre-flop and somebody calls with King Jack and busts me, then I'll probably go bananas. But
well, you know what? You could do something that's fairly economical. Is Elliot Roe's got those hypnosis or meditation tapes that they're
right
like for $25 or something.
Yeah, and, that's what Mark recommended. Did you check those out?
I did check them out. I haven't downloaded them yet. I need to do that. But you know what? I'll make a little note. I'm going to do that. And
we've got an interesting guest today, by the way.
We do.
I had gotten in touch through my political connections with Michelle Obama, but we had a meeting and you said no. She bores the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You said you had someone much more interesting.
Yes. Well,
actually, it was my idea to get her on the show.
Yeah. No, I had to shoot that one down. Sorry, I just don't feel it.
Momma Barton's coming on.
Yes, she is. Shall we give her a call?
Sure. Okay. And I got to let you know. I mean, this poker cast. We get some top level poker talk, and I got no problem cutting her off if she's not making sense.
Okay.
I'm letting you know, no more bullshit, man. High quality content or nothing. No, I'm kidding. Yes. Let's get Mrs. B on the line.
Okay, let's see here. Where is?
Would you like me to sing in the interim?
Got the little lines going. It should be calling now.
I wonder if she's going to be drunk just to ease the tension of this. She might be nervous. I don't know.
She did sound a little bit nervous,
apprehensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me.
Let
me give her a call real quick. I think.
Should I start discussing a hand while you text her and try to get in touch with her? Maybe, I don't know.
Let me give her a call here real quick. Hey, Mama.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Did you get a call from me on Skype?
I think it was ringing. I was in the other room, so I have everything set up. So I think I did.
Okay.
Let me see.
Are you signed into Skype?
No, I'm not signed in yet.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
Okay.
All these newfangled technology.
Does she? Can you let her know how?
You're FaceTiming me, Mom.
Okay.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, we got to go to Skype.
Can you let her know that I have?
Okay, let's find. Oh, there's Skype. I see. Okay.
Okay.
Go to Skype. Okay.
Steve, I have nose hairs to trim. My time is very valuable.
Okay.
Tell her to get a move on it now.
All right. Oh, there you are. You're signed in. Okay, I'm going to call you on Skype right now.
Okay.
And then.
I'll hang up.
Hang on, let's keep you on the line until we make sure we got you.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me, Mom?
I can hear you.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to hang up on the phone now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Okay.
Oh, Mrs. Barton. This is Mike.
Oh, hi, Mike. How you doing?
Oh, just dandy.
Good.
Good. You got your headphones in?
I'm sure you think of this as Steve's show, so hearing my voice is probably You weren't ready for that. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. Okay. Now, I already told Stephen I'm going to be boring. So when I get too boring, just cut me off, and you don't even have to air this. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all.
No. I'm sure.
You will not be boring, Mom.
Oh, I think I will be.
Steve, I don't know if he's being using too much hyperbole, but he described you as a tournament wizard. So we're expecting we're expecting some high level poker talk here, actually.
Oh, you're going to be real disappointed. I better hang up now.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
By the way, I got to clear the air about something.
Okay.
Your son's making me a little nervous.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Just in the last month, he's read 17 different biographies of Napoleon.
Really?
He's got some big plans for this show. You know what I mean? Like taking the world by storm kind of stuff. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not ready to jump on my horse and head to Moscow. So I mean, I'm just saying it's your job to okay, it's cool. You guys now have a podcast, whatever. But when he starts talking about Mom, I'm going to be a billionaire. There's gonna be Barton shirts and sweatshirts and all that stuff. So I've been
texting you about twice a day with all the how many downloads we're getting on of the podcast. I'm like, look, we got 5 more in the last 2 minutes.
If you want to get me real excited, say, Mike, I just sent you a gift certificate for a free turkey sandwich or something. But the downloads right now is no. It's fun. We're having fun is the important thing, and it's kind of cool doing something different.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's the grandfather clock.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, I couldn't shut that off.
No. Don't worry about it.
No.
It adds to the flavor.
Ambiance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
So, how's let's see. Did you play in any tournaments lately, Mama?
Yes, I played a few. I love poker, and I try and play 2 a week. I'm up to I usually play 3 times, but I'm always play 2. And I played one yesterday. I played the worst poker I've ever played. It was like my brain was disengaged from my body. I couldn't seem to stop betting when I should have folded. I held on to hands that were stupid, and I don't know what it was, but it was like some evil poker person was in there saying, you don't want to play good today. This is not a good day. So, yeah, I've been playing.
Sounds like the way Mike and I play.
Oh, really?
Kind of, yes. I think the solution when my mental game is off is you should take a second mortgage, get $50,000 in cash, and play one of those high rollers because you'll be totally concentrated there.
Oh, good idea.
I'm a fountain of common sense. Yes,
it sounds like it. Yes. Okay. Well.
So was there any particular hand which just afterwards had you clenching your fists and say, "What the heck I was doing there"? Can you remember?
Oh yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I had Ace Jack suited, and I was there was 10 of us at the table, and I was on the button. And it got raised twice. It got raised and re-raised before me, and I called. I probably should have folded, but I thought, this is a good hand to see the flop with. I'm going to go ahead and stay in.
Okay.
Well, so I didn't get anything. Well, I got a jack on the flop.
The overcall is what I guess we call it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, I knew it was wrong. But I couldn't seem to stop myself from keep playing the hand. The hand flops Jack, 2, King. And I thought, I've got a pair of jacks.
a horrible flop, as it turns out, I'm sure. Yes.
Terrible. It ended up that I just checked, and it went around to then check, and then a girl across from me, Anita, she's a very nice lady, she bets $1,600. And I'm thinking, I'm going to call that. I got a jack. Of course, I don't have a king, but I've got a jack with an ace. And to me, I was thinking, this is not a good hand for me to be in. I should just fold. She's probably got kings or King 2 or whatever. It ended up, she and I were the only people in the hand. We got it down to the end. She kept betting $1,600. I kept calling. The last bet was $3,200. I called again. She had trip 2s and I had a pair of jacks. It was horrible. And I knew she had me beat from the beginning, but I couldn't stop calling her, and I couldn't stop.
Right.
It was awful. It was a train wreck, and it just crashed. And I was like, oh my God. It was just awful. Yeah.
Sounds like pocket deuce's early position too. If you had re-raised the razor You might have been able to take it down pre-flop too. It's
Yeah, that's
possible.
what I thought.
Probably
I thought,
folding was probably the decision, but definitely
Yeah.
either raise or fold probably would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And as soon as I called, I thought, oh no, I should have been really raising or doing something. She would have probably folded. I don't know if she would have or not, but I don't know. It was.
But you do have some good tournament results. Steve was very proud of you for some Vegas success.
Yeah.
Is do you have is your tournament style? You think mostly just to play good hands and try to get value from them, or?
Yeah, basically, I do. Lately I've been playing more hands. I'm trying to change my playing up a little bit because I try not to play so tight now. But I'm, of course, then I have a train wreck. But it's okay. I just I do play good hands and I try to get value out of them. I don't always raise with the top hand. I kind of wait and see what happens and that kind of thing. But now I'm trying to do a little bit different. So
I would think your reputation when you make a bet, there's definitely opportunities to steal some pots if you're, especially if you've been playing tournaments in the same card room with the same people and playing tight. So.
Yes, and that's really worked out good for me. I can raise. I can make a big bet on the the river, and everybody assumes I've hit my hand, and I don't always do that. And I would say 50% of the time I don't have anything. So I've been able to win a little bit, and I have a really tight reputation where I play, and whereas I really am not that tight a player. I don't consider myself that tight. So it's worked out good for me.
Tight, aggressive.
Yes.
Not playing too many hands, but when you do, you're capable of. Yeah,
I'm trying to. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, so it's fun. I don't consider myself a good player, but I have fun with it, and I've been able to cash, and so it's just fun for me. You guys
ever played in the same tournament?
Oh yeah. Hey, Mom, do you have a pen in your hand?
I do.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Could you tell us about your routine?
Did I what?
Oh, tell us about your routine when you go to Vegas. When we go to Vegas and you go to Luxor and then Excalibur and then back to Luxor and then back to Excalibur. And...
My favorite days.
Yes.
Well, they used to have tournaments at Excalibur, and at Luxor they would start at 10:30, 12:30, 3:30, 8:30, and 11:30. And Excalibur was 9, 1, 5, 9, whatever.
Wow, you haven't played those before, huh?
No. No. Oh, no, I have no idea what the exact times. So every time I've gone to Vegas, we stay at the Luxor usually or at Chris's, and I just go back and forth. Depending if I won or not, then I'd have to wait till the next tournament or whatever. But this last time I went, they've canceled a couple tournaments at Luxor. They only have the 10:30 in the morning and the 8:30 at night. Oh. They don't have anything else. Yeah. So it was really disappointing to me because then I wasn't bouncing so much. But within like 10 days, I played 14 tournaments and I cashed in 6. So I considered that a really good return.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, and I came home with like $800 more than I went with. And that to me was a big thing because I don't win a lot of money, but I have fun at it. And if I can win a little bit, it's good.
Sure. And that's 800 with Steve mooching nickels off you every 10 seconds, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, it helped.
Now I understand, Steve, how you can go to Vegas all the time. You get Mom to pay for the room, right?
Well, we stay with my brother, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then we usually just head out for tournaments from there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So was there any first place among the 6 caches, or what was the highest finish? Do you remember?
I tied first and second, and we split a pot. We each got 5 something, and I considered that a good payout. It was between a girl and I, and there were 3 full tables. 1, 2, 3. There were 4 tables, and that was at the Excalibur, and we got down to the final table, and it was getting close to the next tournament. We each wanted to play the 1 o'clock. It was like 5-1. So we split the thing, and then we were able to play the next.
Well, that's
tournament.
Always the smart girl power there. 2 women finished. That must have been kind of fun too, huh?
It was fun, and what's interesting? I don't know if you guys probably don't run into this because you're not a girl, but whenever you go into a poker room as a woman, I don't know if everybody runs against this, but I can remember I played the Seniors World Series last year. And I got up to the table, and all the tables around us, there was no women except for across the room or whatever. They weren't near us. And as soon as I sat down, one of the gentlemen said, "Oh, we've got a little lady at our table." And that happens all the time. And I don't understand. Maybe you guys can tell me. You can't possibly be threatened by a woman sitting at the table. So why would they do that? And it happens a lot.
Yeah, what's it like? What's it feel like when you sit down? Is it intimidating or like what? Why are they doing that? Do you think?
I think they want to intimidate you. I really do. I don't let them, and I don't. I try to just be friendly and get in conversations with the persons next to me or whatever, or talk across the table. But it's interesting. I don't know why they do that, and I haven't been able to figure that out. And the first time I played a tournament, it really made me nervous, and but I just kind of let it roll off my back now. It's not a big deal. So.
I've never tried to intimidate a woman. I'm usually trying to seduce them. And I think I would be very skilled at intimidation, but seduction is not one of my great aptitudes. Actually, I didn't even get into it, but I won't even say this. Like super hot woman was. I mentioned her before, I think, but she's kind of known in the poker world. Sat down at Oceans, and I was schmoozing with her, and I ended up, hey, let's get a bottle of wine. It looked like I was off to a roaring start because a couple of guys were like looking over from the other table, like, "Hey man, what's like?" The next day they were asking me about it, but she had like 2 sips of wine and hit the road.
Didn't work. Well, at least you tried.
I think my the dead chipmunks cologne that I was probably had after a 24-hour session might have had something to do with it, but I'd like to. It's hard to say, but no, I think women do. They get treated everywhere in life, so it's not.
Yeah.
But I think I think a lot of especially a lot of these young female poker pros, they'll kind of talk about, I want to be treated like everyone else, but I think they kind of enjoy being the woman in the guys club. That's my personal. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, it could be. I mean, I enjoy playing poker, and you're mostly playing with men, but it's just fun,
I've never thought about it from a woman's perspective, but I guess that would be kind of. I'm trying to think of it at least as a guy. If I sit down and there's 9 women at the table, that would be a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Well, on my bookcase, Steve, I have many books about feminist enlightenment I can send you.
Oh, okay.
It's about time you step into the 21st century. You're hanging out with all these virile firemen all day, So that's a possibility.
Yeah. How did we get started in poker, Mom? Do you remember? Was it Chris that first started playing, or was it me, or you, or who got who into it?
Well, I think you and Chris were playing, and I think how I started was I watched Moneymaker, believe it or not. I know everybody says that, but it's true.
Sure.
And I didn't know anything about the game. And you had just been started playing, I think you and Chris, and we watched it together, the World Series, and he won it. And I just couldn't believe it, this young kid. And the game was so fun. It just looked like such a great time. Yeah. And that's when we really started playing. So
Steve claims you locked him in a closet and there just happened to be a deck of playing cards in there when he was misbehaving as a child. But I think a lot of us dramatize our childhood, so it's probably not 100% true.
Not 100% true, but we used to play penny ante poker with the kids all the time, mostly 5-card draw or 5-card stud or whatever. And that's, I think, how they started playing cards years ago.
Yeah, I remember playing that. And then we used to go up to Chumash a lot, right?
Oh, yeah. The first time we went there, that was so exciting. Do you remember? I was so nervous, but it was so much fun. The whole poker room was full. I don't know how many tables they had, 10 or 12? Something like that?
Yeah, probably about like that, yeah.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was $100 buy-in, wasn't it?
I think we played 2-4 limit, right? Isn't that the game?
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was $100 buy-in. It was like $20 minimum, $100 max or something like that. And did we go up there and play cash games, or did we play a tournament? Or
Well, the first time we went up there, we played a tournament.
Okay.
And then after that, you and I think I went up a couple times and played the cash game. And I wasn't very good at the cash game. I don't know why. I guess I should practice that more, but I don't.
None of us were.
I'm not as comfortable. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if it's because it's real money, but it was a tournament. I don't think of it as real money, which I probably should. But you're buying in and I'm thinking it's just chips. And I tell you, this chip is worth $5,000, this is $10,000, whatever. But It's just chips, So it's a different, for me, I look at it differently.
Well, once you run deep in a tournament too, it's just so much fun stacking that big pile of chips and stuff. It's hard to move back to cash. Personally, for me, just the thrill of the tournament.
Yeah.
The pain of the tournament knockout, which is, we discussed that too. I've had a couple of those. That's the downside of that. But
yeah. But it's fun. Fun game.
Cool.
So should we test your cash game knowledge by discussing a couple hands here, Steve?
Oh, sure.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. You got some cash hands?
I got a couple cash hands.
Okay.
And I had a Commerce. I played from 5-10. And the Commerce is known for being super aggressive. And I decided I was going to be up for the challenge in terms of aggression. So I think these hands are more amusing in terms of just the amount of money involved with. But I won't give it away. I'll just tell the hands.
Okay.
I literally had just bought in for 1,500, which is the max buy-in at the 510. It's like my second or third hand.
Wait, this is 510 or 5.5?
This is 510.
And the max buy-in is 1,500?
The max buy-in is 1,500.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So
Commerce. I was thinking.
Commerce.
Okay.
This is how. Yeah, it's 3,000 at Ocean. This is how I could rationalize playing it here. And I get 4-4 on the button. It folds around to me.
Okay.
And pair is good on the button, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So I raise to $35.
Okay. I like it.
The small blind 3 bets to $85.
Okay. And the big blind?
Big blind folds.
Okay.
So decision number 1, what to do here.
Okay. Well,
the villain has me covered. He's got like $1,800, I think.
Okay. And folding is not an option. If you let's see, you're 150 big blinds deep. You could either call here and set mine, or you could 4-bet them. I kind of like either one. I think maybe 4-bet fold. So you re-raise to like 210, maybe 205, 200. No, I think 200 is a little small. Yeah, maybe 220-ish.
I raised to 225.
Okay.
So we're on kind of the same wavelength. Obviously hoping to get a fold.
Yeah.
And this hand is one of those classic deep stacked cash game hands, which quickly the pot gets big fast.
Yeah.
He calls.
Okay.
So there's 460 going to the flop.
Okay, so he calls 225. 460 for the flop. Okay.
And you can chime in anytime, Mrs. B.
Okay.
When you witness my ignorance here, you can silence would actually I'd prefer, but no.
Okay.
The flop is Queen 9-7 Rainbow.
Okay, Queen 9-7 Rainbow. Not exactly the flop we're hoping for.
And he checks.
Okay.
Oh, he checks.
And I'm the 4-better here, so yeah, that was pretty standard. Him checking. And do you see bet here?
I would say so. I think I would probably see bet in the area of 280, 285, 290. Did you go big? Did you go 350?
No. I thought you'd applaud that I'm taking more your way here, especially when you have kind of crap. It's like if he's got nothing, he should. The small bet, the bet of 250 and 350 shouldn't really make a difference in his folding too much, unless for some reason he views 250 as weak. But like I said, I just sat down. He's not going to have any bet sizing tells or anything like that. So I bet 250 and he calls.
Okay.
So we have 960 in the pot.
Okay.
So what should be my overall thinking here? Unless I hit a 4 on the turn, or possibly an ace, which would be strong in my hand. Should I be bailing on this hand?
Well, I think at this point you're basically repping ace queen plus. You're repping maybe jacks.
Well, my C bet doesn't really rep anything, but the turn is where if I bet again, I'm repping. I mean, no, I'm certainly repping that I like the flop. I'm repping that I 4-bet.
Yeah.
But the player is I assume going to know that I'm probably c-betting everything.
Okay.
I'm going to c-bet ace king there.
Okay.
Again, I don't know the villain too. He was a younger Asian guy. Seemed competent. Looked comfortable at a poker table.
Okay.
Right away, I'm thinking this is someone who's good.
Okay.
The turn is the king.
Okay.
And I believe there might be like 2 diamonds on the board, but that didn't play heavily into so it's king queen 9-7, just about as ugly as it gets for pocket 4s.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are you just he checks, So are you just checking and then, reevaluating on the river and just hoping somehow that, he had, of course, his draw just got there if he had 10 jack.
Yeah, if he had jack 10, he got there.
And if he had, for some reason, if he's got jack 9 or something, maybe rather betting on the river is better than betting on the turn. I don't know.
I feel like if you bet here, you're basically repping aces, ace king, king queen, a set. Your hand is basically 2 napkins that you just used and threw on the floor.
Right. Well, this is like a major flaw in my overall thinking. I'm not thinking, well, what does it look like that I'm repping to him? It's just like I'm betting big and
he should fold. Damn it.
He should fold if he doesn't have a king. Yeah, exactly. And especially when you're playing 5-10, it's just much different than the 5-5 game, where they're immediately going to know, well, he should be checking back like a lot of hands, like even ace king.
Yeah.
Just in case he's slow betting a set. I don't want to play for stacks here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I decide I'm gonna rep something strong and just hope he was either possibly floating with the 10-8 or a crappy hand, or maybe he's got pocket 10s or something. So maybe now's the time to like bet really big. But I just bet 475, about half pot.
Mm. Yeah, I might have gone 6.
If you're going to go for it.
If you're going to go for it, go 6 or shut down. But what'd you bet? You bet 4 what?
I bet 475.
475, okay. And does he rip it in or?
He calls.
Okay.
So at every street he's done exactly what I didn't want him to do, was call.
Yeah.
Like at any point, at any of these points, he's totally free to just rip it in, and I can save myself some money.
Yeah.
So there's now $1,910 in the pot.
Okay.
And I'd have to look at how much. I guess I put in 225, 250, and 475. So I've put in $950. I only have $550 left. Mm. The river is a deuce, and he checks.
Man. I don't know that he's going to fold for another 5. Mm-mm. I feel like the bet sizing kind of went wrong here somewhere. Like we should have set it up to where the river was like a pot-sized shove, or somehow checked along the way so that you can put a big bet on the river, or have just shut down on the flop.
I should have point out, I think this was right after I bubbled a 1K. So I should have been sitting at Starbucks enjoying a scone, taking a deep breath, rather than just saying I'm going to go to 5-10 and just kick some ass.
And 4 bet with 4s.
I'm going to go. Yeah. It's always smart trying to push around the the 22-year-old Asian kid who has a $8,000 stuffed in his pocket. But again, I can't take credit for playing the hand brilliantly or something. But I thought this was interesting because, like, even that hand we talked about with Travis Jonas, where if you remember, where you kind of had misplayed the hand, and by the river the guy bet real small, and I was like, raise, and Travis is like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
So my answer is, when you're in deep with a bad hand, is always just to like amp up the pressure, which is really. Why are we laughing now?
Sorry.
I am offering a lucid option of what to do here.
Yeah.
I insta shoved.
Okay.
And
I think that's
and he insta folded, which I was really surprised.
Oh.
But I thought if there's one good thing I did, when he called on the turn, I said I'm going to just shove the river like I have it, and hopefully he's not even like. It almost he doesn't even stop to count the pot, kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So there's really, I am guessing he had a queen, and he didn't like the king. I should have said he took a little while to call on the turn.
Okay.
So, but if he's calling 475 in the turn, I mean, he has to call the river, and I can't say that I read somehow that he wasn't doing it. But anyways, it was a nice profit there.
Yeah, how much did you shove on the river? 5 something?
I think it was like $550 or $600 or something like that. So he was getting 4-1 in a call.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's possible he didn't have a pair. I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to
10-8 is
think of
about
what
the.
he could have had that he was calling
Yeah.
down with that.
Well, he. I mean, there's just the way I just. If I'm going to shove the river, it can't be like stop, look at him, study his face.
Yeah.
I thought if there's any reason I won the hand, at least I made the right decision in that way.
Yeah.
Where it was like insta shove, please pay me off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Maybe he had like jacks. Why would he call the
yeah,
king?
that's possible.
Why would he call the bet on the turn though?
Because I just look like a guy who's full of shit. It is that this is something else I was thinking about the other day. How you talk about I sat down, the guy's a pro. And you're like, I can just tell by looking at him.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling. And when I used to go to tournaments, I think I just looked like a guy who wasn't a pro, and I could get away with a lot of stuff. And now whether you have you just spend more time at a poker table, you just have a different expression or whatever, you handle the chips differently. I don't know. But I think people sense that I'm someone who's capable of making moves, right away, even before I played with them. Yeah. But this one I won.
Right on. Cool.
And yeah, I don't know if you want. I'll try to do it. I could do another hand, sort of quickly. But this was the same session, and this was a must-move table. So I'm now on a different table. But I sometimes like to discuss hands from the same session because my overall state or how I'm looking at poker maybe changes. And there was a guy who was aggressively squeezing and a really aggressive three-better. I've actually played with him before there, and he's definitely a pro, and he's really good. And to go back to that session where we discussed it a couple episodes ago, where I was just waiting for a chance to back raise a guy,
okay,
because I thought it'd be profitable.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, this is another ridiculously sized pot with a marginal holding, and I won't give it away any more than that. Guy under the gun. Oh, there's really two villains. The guy who has $1,200 under the gun opens to 30,
okay, and
like a UTG +2 calls, and I think I'm in the cutoff.
Okay,
and I also call with Jack. I have Jack 10 of diamonds.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
So the guy who is the active three-better, who is in the small blind, who's got oodles of chips, he's probably. No, I'm sorry. He only has like $1,900, and at this point, I've chipped up. I have like $3,000.
Okay,
I've doubled my starting stack. So he makes it 200.
Okay,
and the original raiser takes a little while before calling.
Okay,
kind of looks nervous, I think.
Okay,
I guess the original raiser I would describe as a casual player. Looks cautious with their money, doesn't want their money in unless they've got a good hand. The next person who had flatted folds.
Okay, and then it's on you.
And it comes back to me.
Okay.
Now the second I saw the Jack 10, I said, if this guy's 3-betting, I'm going to back raise.
Really?
But I don't know. What do you think about that? There's a couple things that strongly go against doing it. Which I didn't really realize until one of them I realized right away, which was you got another player in the hand who flatted, who now has $200 and only $1,200 in his stack. And the other one, and I got to be honest, I didn't even think about this till after the hand, was this guy was 3-betting from the small blind.
Yeah, he
was not 3-betting in position, which I think a lot of times when he was squeezing, he was doing.
Well, that was my first thought, was that you have maybe I'm a little biased towards this because Jack 10 suited is my favorite hand, but you got an opportunity to close the action, have position for the rest of the hand, and see a flop with the prettiest hand in poker. And it's one of those that you're either going to nail it or you're not, and you can flop a great draw, or it can come ace king 2 and you can get away from it. And I like calling. Folding isn't an option, I don't think, because you got position.
I gotta get a Bluetooth, Steve, with you in my ear.
Okay.
Cautioning me in these moments. Well, like I said, following table flow and stuff, it's not like I've been out of line or been a lot of hands. And at least 2 or 3 times this guy's 3-bet, I've just flatted and folded. So I seem to be the classically exploitable player in that respect, where I'm going to just flat be very flop dependent. So I raise.
Okay.
I don't know, what is an optimal raise size here? Like, as usual, I'm just picking a number out of the air kind of thing.
Okay, well, let's see. What do we got in the pot? We got 430. Is that right?
$470 in the pot.
470.
The big blind had folded. The big blind had folded, and there's still my $30 in there, and the other guy who folded's 30, and then these guys 200 each. So there's 470 in the pot.
470. Okay.
And of course, I'm getting a good price. I can only call 170, and there's a pot of 470 when I probably have a decent amount of equity. But as I said, that ship has already sailed. I'm sticking with my back raise, damn it, regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, okay. Maybe 575.
Well, I think that is. I decided to make it big. 575 would be really small with that much in the pot, I think, because then then you've got like almost, Christ, you got almost $1,100 in the pot with them only having to call 350 more or something like. They're almost obligated to call. I made it 850.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's pretty big. I think that's about right for what you'd be if you had aces there. You wouldn't want to be seeing aces against two players.
Yeah.
So yeah, I make it 850.
Okay.
And again, the original three better, takes almost a full second before declaring all in.
Not quite an insta shove, but darn close. He took time to blink and then he pushed it.
No. Yes, the synapses had to fire there before he could.
Okay. So he moves all the way for 1900.
And then the original raiser, he kind of shakes his head and looks at both of us, and then he calls.
Oh, so he's got tens or jacks, huh?
So he's got his 1,200 in. The other guy's got his 900 in. I have my 850 in. So there's, the math is kind of, I think there's $4,520 in the pot.
Oh, Jesus. And what is the figure called?
This
like
is almost, and it's only
1,050
for me to call.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny. I brought this up to the guys at Oceans, and like, why are we discussing this? You have to call.
Yeah.
You're getting 4.5 to 1 of the money, which of course is the answer. I said, but man, it's $1,000. That's They said, well, then you shouldn't be in the damn game if you're looking at this $1,000. You're looking, So I guess I don't know. The one question is, if the second guy folds, do I call? It's I guess even on that I'm still getting 3 to 1, but I'm so crushed. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is a lot of my hands are not particularly fascinating. They're just like trying to cautionary tales on how not to play. But I call, and there's now $5,600 in this pot, and I am up against King King and Ace King.
And of course the flop came down Jack 10, right?
No, it was like 4 deuce deuce. Yeah, I mean it's drawing about as dead as you can be. And anyways, so it is kind of funny. Like I've said, I've made some growth here, with all my winning sessions at Ocean strung together. But for some reason, if I get in the bigger game, the aggression is just so ramped up. People are just putting so much pressure on you that you find yourself in these situations, or maybe you shouldn't. Probably the optimal, but those are the way when people are aggressive. It's either like you have to out-aggress them, or probably more sensibly would just be to just play 5% of hands, and they still might pay you off.
Yeah.
When you have a big hand, just because they're having so much fun banging chips around.
Yeah. No, I think I like everything in the hand except for the raise on the what would that be? I guess a 4-bet. Yeah, I think just calling there, taking position for the rest of the hand, and then you can get away cheaply. You have a decision if the flop comes down 10 or jack high. But if you get a flop of 8-9-2 or something, then you got something to play.
Right. Of course, I've lost some of these hands too. So I could have won the hand too. I would have felt brilliant. Like, oh yeah, always put your money in bad. No. By the other hand, I'd be curious what their folding ranges are. Like if this guy is folding tens and the other guy is folding ace queen, then it's been a very profitable play. But we can't really judge what their folding ranges are, obviously, because they're both at the tippy top of their ranges.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So as usual, I share a couple hands that involve a good dose of insanity, and then I'm sure Steve has a hand here.
I do.
Probably
with just
played
this one
slightly
might even
more.
be worse here. Let's see. I've got it on. You know what? Hang on, just one sec. I really got to pee. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, hang on.
It's funny. My roommate just walked in, and he's. I tell him poker hands, and he could just care less. You know what I mean? Like if I find like a deal on stuffing at Ralph's or something, he's mildly interested. But no, the poker. But so when he hears terms like equity and blah blah folding ranges, he's shaking his head. These are not the things a normal human being should be wasting his time on. Yeah. But anyways,
so
when's your next Vegas trip?
So far, June. I'd like to go down once before then, and but I'm not sure when we're going to go. So, but June for sure.
For the WSOP, right?
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is the senior event? Is that the highest buy-in you do? You're going to play the 1K seniors?
Yeah, probably. But I really prefer to play the deep stacks, the 250 or 285, whatever they are. I'd like to play about 5 or 6 of those instead. So I haven't told Bob that he's planning us playing the seniors, and
right.
I would rather play only because it was a lot of fun last year. There was like 5,000 people in it. That's a lot of people to get through, and.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that many, but yeah, they're just huge fields.
Oh, yeah.
I think didn't Steve? You went deep in one of the. I went out like 30th in one.
Oh wow!
And of course, it pays like $600, but first prize for a $200 buy-in. It's if you somehow bink it, it's
like, it can be anywhere from 35 to 50K.
Yes,
yeah, it's pretty amazing for a low buy-in.
Yeah. That's what I think, and it's fun. I like the whole atmosphere. I don't know. The first time I went was a couple years ago, and we went to watch Stephen play, and it was so exciting just to be there with all these people. And the thing that really, you walk in the back door of the Rio, and there's a red carpet there, and you're thinking, oh, really? This is kind of cool. And it's just, you see all the people you see on TV. I ran into Huck Seed last year. Boy, that was fun.
Got your picture with Daniel Negreanu?
I sure did. Yeah, I got that framed here. It's so cool. But they're just nice, regular people, and the whole atmosphere I really like. It's just fun.
There's definitely, the bigger the tournament, the more energy there is, for sure.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Well, I got I've got a hand here. Let's see. It was a 3,000 guarantee turbo online tournament. I can't remember what the buy-in was. I want to say it was either $10 or $20. I can't remember. But we're fairly early into the tournament, probably the first few levels. And, the blinds go up every 5 minutes, so basically every fifth hand, the blinds are going up. So you got to, at least my strategy when I play these is I play pretty tight in the beginning. And then once you get down to 10 or 15 big blinds, you're basically, it's a shoving game. And, if you're in late position with Queen Jack, then you shove it in, and either you win or you win the blinds, or you lose and you're out. And it's like that. So I have I got 48 big blinds, and I'm in the what am I in here? I'm in the big blind. So let me play the hand here. I got it on a hand replayer. Let's see. It is folding around to. It folds around to the cutoff, and he raises. The blind levels are 50, 100. And he raises to 250. And then the button calls, the small blind calls, and now it's on me. So it went around to the cutoff. The cutoff raised to 250. The button called 250. The small blind called 250. And I'm in the big blind with pocket sevens. So I was thinking, I'm definitely not folding here. I could either call, take a flop, and try to hit my set, because I've got 48 big blinds, but keep in mind the blinds are going up very quickly. Or I could try to re-raise and steal the pot, but I'm not. What would you guys do?
I think Yeah, at that stack depth, I'm probably gonna flat. I mean, again, if you had their HUD statistics where they're all super loose, if it was a little less, if it was like 28, 30 big blinds, even though I guess you're still getting set mining odds, I'm tempted to raise fold, just because you're only taking it down post flop. I mean, 25% of the time, probably, or less.
Probably
even.
less than that, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe not only when you hit your set, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably just flat at that stack depth, I think, and just get out cheap. But I mean, I'm thinking for me online, I'm playing against the same. They never believe me when I'm raising. I mean, this tournament the other night is kind of funny. The HUD tracks, quickly. I didn't even realize this at the end. I was kind of looking at it when I was on the final table, being aggressive. Just over the course of this tournament, I was 3-betting 17% of the time.
Wow.
Oh.
Which is like ridiculously high.
Yeah, that's about twice what I am. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, but yeah, I mean, you could make arguments for both.
Okay. What do you think, Mom? Would you call? Would you re-raise?
I would have just called. I would have
I would
called.
call.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like
Only
very
be-
sound advice,
Okay.
but I didn't. Well, a quick their HUD stats. Well, it's hard to even really give them any HUD stats here because this is hand number 20. The guy that open raised, he's played 6 hands, so his stats are 17. The other guy was a complete calling station. He called 55% of the time.
Wow.
And then the guy in the small blind, he called 35, raised 5%. So he's raised one hand in 20, and I guess he's put money in the pot, 7 times out of 20. Mm-hmm. And so I re-raised, hoping to get heads up with a button or have somebody, or just have them all fold. But yeah, I think calling and set mining would have definitely been.
The button's the one you're hoping to fold, so you have because the other two should have. Well, you got position only on one of them, I guess, so that's not. Yeah. But I would. Well, what was your bet sizing here? I'd be curious.
Well, the pot was. Let's see, what was the pot here? The pot was 850. I made it 850.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not going to get many folds with that.
No, I probably
not when everybody's 40 big blinds deep.
Yeah, I probably should have. What do you think? Like 1100 or?
I would even be I would be even like 1300 or something like that. 5x whatever the bet is. I guess that would be 1250. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Maybe I should stop.
But if they're gonna, I don't. Yeah,
stop playing 4 tables and focus on 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're pretty accurate with that. I raised to 850, and all 4 of them called.
Yeah.
So then we go to the flop. I take that back. No, the small blind folded, so I got him out of the way. The one guy I had position on is out. And now the flop is. I've got pocket sevens. The flop is 5, ace, 4 with 2 spades. I got the 7 of spades, like that matters. And the pot's 2,800. I got 4,000 in my stack. What are you thinking here?
Well,
it's that big. It's 2,800 and you got 4,000 in your stack. Check jam.
Okay.
I don't know.
So what
I mean, if one of them bets, you shouldn't have a strong ace. Shouldn't have an ace queen or an ace king. But you'll be surprised how many times you 3-bet and the guy has ace king or. I mean, every time I slow play a big hand, I don't win it. So I rarely. I would. It's almost either. I mean, I guess with that much money in the pot, you gotta take a shot at it. I mean, even if you. What are the blinds? 100?
Yeah, 100.
I mean, even if you bet kind of big here, 1665 or something like that, and have to fold, you still have 46. You'd still have. I'm sorry. How much in your stack? You got 4,000 left in your stack.
4,000 in my stack. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So even if you bet 1,600 and have to fold, you get, you still have 25 big blinds left, I guess. I'm always very stubborn here. If I three bet, if I three bet, I got to C bet.
That's kind of where I was at. I thought, if neither one of them has an ace, I felt pretty confident I could take this down with a bet, assuming they didn't have some like king queen of spades or something.
If it was, especially since they're both late position players, their hand strength should be a little less. Like if for some reason you three bet from the button against a couple early position raisers, and they both called, and an ace came, I think you're very likely to see an ace queen or an ace king there.
Yeah.
But here, a guy who's calling a three bet with ace nine or some crappy hand really should not be folding it.
Yeah.
With this stack to pot ratio. So that's what I'd be worried about. Like I said, I'd be tempted to. Again, it's not super late in the tournament too. The whole dynamics change if you're on the bubble of something where you can get people to fold one pair.
Yeah.
Even top pair sometimes just by going gangster on them. Like if you went, like I said, if you checked here and one of them bet kind of a smallish amount that you think might be scared, where they want to see where they're looking, where they're at, kind of thing. If somebody bet 950 or something, I don't know. Then I'd be tempted to do the check shove because they could not have. It's possible they don't have it. They're trying to steal with king queen. And B, there is some chance you can get them to fold an ace.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how great a chance, because if you're going to call that bet with that much money in the pot, you should not be folding an ace. But your move would look strong, certainly.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that's very likely how you would play ace king, because you'd be worried about them folding to your C bet, and you want to get money in there, so you check shove. Either way, I think you got to make a move at the pot, though, right?
That's what I felt. I felt after three betting with an ace out here, if they don't have an ace, I feel like I can take it down. So I bet maybe this was kind of a sizing tell, but I bet 1,200 into 28, and I get in the back of my mind, I remember thinking, well, if I got to take a shot here, if it doesn't work here, then at least I've still got 28 big blinds, and I can go from there. I can play with 28 big blinds.
Sure.
And so I bet 12. And having butchered this on every single street so far, the first guy calls 1,200, and then the button raises to 3,000.
Oh, wow.
So I think at this point, it should be pretty apparent that I'm beat, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Call your mother and cry. That always helps me out. Actually, she says shut up and stop crying. So actually, it doesn't really solve anything. But
yeah, I folded at that point, and then it goes around to the guy that called my 1,200. He shoves all in, and then the button, of course, calls, and they both have an ace. The cutoff has ace six, and the button had ace queen. So,
Wow.
yeah, then it ran out ace five, so it paired the board. Anyways,
yeah, I think just calling there, especially. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you had the best hand in your defense, right? You're ahead of every single range there, the opener and the two flatters. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Well, quickly, I won't give this the whole hand, but I was sitting next to a pro when I did this the other night, and this was 5-5, and one person limped and two other person limped, and I had pocket eights in the big blind, and I made it 50, and of course they all call, and it's like 9 deuce 3, and I C bet 115 or something like that, and two people call. And they could even be worse. You could have ace 3 and pocket sixes there. You know what I mean? But I'm just done with the hand. I can't even remember if we saw a showdown who won. I checked on the turn. Somebody bet big, and the other guy folded, I think. But I'm talking to the pro. I'm like, you 3-bet there? I mean, out of position. They're always a deep stack. They're always calling. And he's like, well, you have to, kind of thing. You want to build the pot often, and they are usually going to fold if there's air. And yeah, he said either bet smaller or bet bigger. He wasn't in love with my bet sizing, but that's a pretty big 3-bet. I mean, but if I bet 75, I probably only get one caller, and I'm much more likely to take it down with a C bet. But those are weird spots where you're ahead. You have the best hand, but you got players who are calling stations. You're out of position, and you feel like it's just going to get dicey. It feels dirty to set mine, especially with like eights.
Yeah.
Like fours or fives or not, but I always hate those spots where I have like pocket tens, even on the button, and early position raise, two people call, and I'm like, well, if I three bet even big, especially since I'm an aggressive player, two of them are going to call. There's going to be an overcard,
and then you're just in this awkward spot. I even had a thought of. I remember thinking here, I should just shove it in right now, pre-flop when it came around to me. I felt pretty confident that I had the best hand at that point, and the reason I felt that way was because everyone at the table, we'd only seen 20 hands, but they were getting all in with just ridiculous stuff. With 50 big blinds, they were getting all in with King Jack, and I thought, the one thing that kept me from doing it was.
Well, you're flipping with King Jack, so that's not even a terrific result when you're when you're 48 big blinds deep or whatever you started
That's true.
with. So no, I don't think shoving's an option. Now I might shove with aces.
Okay.
because if it's a crazy table, like I've done that over shove with aces before. I remember back in the days at Poker Stars or something. I think I remember one hand where it was even $100 tournament or more. I had aces under the gun and I just shoved the first hand. I got two callers, queens and ace king.
Wow.
I actually tripled up the very first hand of like a tournament. So, but no, I shoving never there.
Okay, yeah, just too deep, huh?
No, you're too deep, and you're only. I mean, you should be only getting called by better, but even if you're flipping, I mean, what's the I mean, again, none of these Bovada ones are rebuys. That kind of ticks me off.
Some of them are, unless they stop doing the
others
rebuys.
have. Oh, okay. I thought none of them are rebuys, so that would kind of, But yeah, maybe you're just supposed to not see bet. Just supposed to get up there.
Yeah.
I guess. I think when you only have one over, if it was ace 10-3 rather than ace 4-3 or something, I think it's an easy give up. But like you said, with just the one over, it's there's often those where I'm just looking at the board, and after I three bet, just gritting my teeth, I have to see bet. Sometimes even like in a four-way pot, I'm like, F it, I'm going to try to see bet with like pocket sixes with like a king, queen, nine, and sometimes it gets through. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
So there's so much in the pot. You're betting 1,200 to win 2,800. So if it only works 1 out of 3 times, you've made a profit. I mean, going to the math is a lot of times just a cheap way to justify bad play here. You know what I mean? Because, I do it all the time. But yeah, I think your mom had the first instinct. I was kind of hemming or hawing where to 3-bet, and she was just instantaneously, I call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like at that stack depth, like I said, as it turns out, a guy had a really strong hand in ace queen, so he was too deep to shove too.
Yeah.
Really. But if you each had 25 big blinds, the matter's probably going to be resolved pretty quickly because you're going to 3-bet and probably fold.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3-bet call, but whatever, it's going to be. The decision tree is much easier, anyways.
Yeah.
There's less to think about.
Yeah. I got another one.
Sure.
Okay. This one was from a $55 buy-in on Bovada tournament. We're on hand number 63. I've got 37 big blinds, and I am button, small blind, big blind. I'm under the gun, and I pick up ace king, and the blinds are 100, 200. So I got 37 big blinds. And I pick up ace king under the gun. What's your sizing there to raise if the blinds are 1 and 200?
I don't know. Big hands early position. A lot of times I will bump up the size a little bit, especially with a certain stack depth, because a lot of people want to see flops, and especially your aces or kings, you just want to get a little more money in there. So when you see bet, it's a little more, and I guess you're just supposed to be balanced and consistent. So whatever your raise. This is pre-ante, right? No, there's antes.
Let's see. This is pre-ante.
Okay. I mean, a lot I don't know. I just fall. A lot of the conventional wisdom is that pre-ante, a lot of people think you should be raising 2.5, 2.6, and then once the antes are in, 2.1, 2.2. It depends on what night of the week it is. For me. It's pretty.
It depends if it's Wednesday or not. Right?
It's pretty arbitrary. I like putting in an extra number one way or the other. 233, 244.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. I put in 455.
It was 100, 200. I was thinking.
Yeah, I put in 455. Looking back, maybe I should have put 510 or something, but just because I'm in early position. But
right. Well, if you're again at a lot of these players, Bavad are going to be ignorant of stack depth just because it's a little higher. They should be less likely. They're supposed to not call.
Mm-hmm.
King Jack, and there's certain hands they shouldn't be calling anyways, but yeah, I don't know if you're going to get more folds by increasing it. Maybe.
Okay. I've got so I made it 455. It folds around to the cutoff, and he raises to 1,110.
Wow.
And then the button folds, small blind folds, big blind folds, and now it's on me. So we're not folding here, right?
No. I wouldn't fold. I would call.
Okay.
Only because I'm in early position, and I wouldn't raise again because if he went, that's my opinion. If he went that high, he's just going to call you or re-raise you. So I would like to see the flop for as cheap as possible because he could possibly have a really good hand.
Okay.
He's got a pair. I'm thinking he's got a pair at least to do that. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's right or not.
What do you think, Mike?
I think that's kind of right. I hate just flatting 3 bets with ace king. It always feels dirty because the other person could be just screwing around. If it's a real heavy 3-better, here's where the HUD might make a difference.
Okay, well he's
if it's someone who's a 3-better of 8 or 9% or more, I might be more likely to 4-bet call it off. But the other good thing about just flatting ace king here too. You're not married to the hand, but if for some reason they're 3-betting you with pocket nines, and it's Jack Queen Deuce, you would lose the flip in this spot, but you can maybe still steal it with the second best hand. Yeah, I'm trying to not go crazy with ace king. That's kind of one of my rules here.
Yeah.
Again, the stack depth, 20 big blinds. I'm probably ripping.
Okay.
But even like an early position raise, I'm being more just to go get philosophical about ace king. I think there's times now where someone opens early position, and I've got ace king in the small blind. Even if I only have 20 big blinds, there's nothing wrong with calling and then folding to an unfriendly flop.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if it's a player who's good, who's not going to be opening ace jack off probably, kind of stuff. They're gonna have ace queen, but you're not really dominating their range as good as ace king looks. So here, I think your mom's right. I would just call.
Okay. Well, this time I followed the peanut gallery and I called. And so the initial raiser.
Where did that expression come from?
Oh, wasn't it Howdy Doody? Is that where it came from, Mom?
Oh, I don't know.
The old show.
The peanut gallery. Yeah, I do.
Howdy Doody time. And they say, now we'll go to the peanut gallery, and they're all, yay!
Yes, yeah. I'd forgotten that.
I think that's where it came from. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Finally, the first image came in my mind of an elephant slamming his trunk on people's heads who were stealing peanuts or something. So I wasn't sure if it's something stranger or whatever. Okay. Yeah, the linguistic stuff is always interesting to me. But anyways. So we don't have to be offended with Peanut Gallery. There's
no. It was like a kid's show, I think, back in the 50s or 60s or something. Okay, so I call. The pot is 25-20. Real quick, the cutoff. His stats. He's only played 9 hands, so for what his stats are worth is probably not much. But he's VPIP is 22%. Pre-flop raise is 22%. So he hasn't come into a pot that he hasn't raised. And his 3-bet percentage is 20%, but that's on 9 hands, so that really doesn't mean.
That is all totally insignificant.
Yeah. Okay. My image doesn't matter because he's only seen 9 hands. Okay, and then we go.
He thinks you're very, very handsome.
Yes, he does.
You have that is quite relevant here. No, okay, I'm sorry. I am interrupting once again.
Okay, the flop comes down 10 ace 7 rainbow. I've got ace of spades, king of diamonds. That doesn't even matter because there's no possible flush or anything out there yet. So I flop top pair. I feel pretty confident that I have the best hand at this point. I would think. But what's your move here? Do you bet out? Do you check?
Yeah, you could do either one. I guess. I mean, if you're betting out, it could be because that's a line a lot of players are taking now. I mean, I don't know Bovado, but maybe a little less, which is just calling a 3-bet and then leading out, which can put if against a heavy 3-better puts him in a tough spot. So if you just lead out, it could be one of those players like no, he's trying to steal a pot. He would never do that with ace king. If you want to induce a re-raise.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you want to make sure that regardless of what he has, you survive this hand in this, just you go in check call mode. He's either paying you off with ace queen and thinks you're weak with a second pair, and even if you call 3 bets if you're starting with 40 big blinds, you should finish the hand with 15 big blinds. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you're not check folding. That's the only thing.
Not doing that.
That's the only the only non-option there.
Okay.
But so what did you decide to do?
What do you think, Mom? Do you think I should bet out or check or?
I would bet out.
Okay.
And if he raises you, I would call him. So I would assume that he has. I already put him on a middle pair.
Okay.
And I didn't put him on ace queen or anything because I just didn't. But that would be makes no sense, but that's what I would do.
Okay. My what I ended up doing, I ended up checking, and my reason was I felt pretty confident that unless he flopped a set of tens or something that that I got the best hand, and I felt pretty sure if I bet out here he was going to fold, and I wanted to keep him in the hand, and if he's got something like jacks, then maybe a 2 will come on the turn, and he thinks he's got the best hand. That was my reasoning. And
oh, that's good thinking. My phone's ringing. Can you hear that?
A little bit.
Sorry.
That's right. But
it's okay. It does not matter.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like your reasoning.
Okay.
Although I'll quickly in terms of betting out, another line I do like sometimes is betting out with the plan of checking the turn. So if he calls thinking, this guy's trying to steal, then you can induce a turn bet by looking like, I was stealing, I'm slowing down here.
Okay.
So that's if you had bet out, just leading, just throwing that out there. So you bet out. What was your size?
Oh no, I checked.
Oh, I'm sorry. You checked.
I check, and then he checks behind, and then at this point I feel pretty confident that he's either got aces or I've got him crushed. And then the turn is a king. And so the board is 10, ace, 7, king, completes the rainbow. So it's a diamond, heart, club, spade. And so I'm like...
Gutterball got there.
Gutterball got there, yes.
If for some reason.
If he was getting crazy with queen jack, then he just got a straight. But the pot is 2,500, 2,520. And we're betting here, right?
I would bet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And what would your sizing be into a 2,500 pot? I've got 6,000 behind. He's got 5,000.
13. 1333.
Okay. Mom?
15.
15? Okay. I bet 1, 2, 3, 4. So I bet basically 1,200. Then it gets to him, and he what is that? Oh, that's exactly a min raise. He min raises me to 2,468.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean I will not be surprised if he has you beat here. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Especially with the checking the flop.
Yeah.
I can just say from experience, I'm like almost never folding here. But a lot of times, if it's a guy who has a high c-bet percentage, often their checking range is much stronger than their c-bet range.
Yeah, when they check, they've actually got
If
it.
there's certain players. So, and again, kind of talking about how there's certain software. I know on Merge, there's always like a tester hand like this for me, where I've got ace king and I hit an ace or a king, and my goal is, regardless of how strong, is not to get it all in, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even I wouldn't even mind just the check on the turn. And check call 2 streets. So if he bets 50% pot and then 60% of pot, you've only lost half your stack.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, I can already tell you what I'd be ripping it in, and maybe being second best here. And it's possibly he still could have ace queen and just think he's sitting on the nuts here. I don't know, because like you flatted ace king, you'd be wondering, well, he'd be re-raising there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one of those spots that's tough, especially when it's a small re-raise.
Yeah, those min re-raises.
I'm always like sighing, like, this guy absolutely has to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, the other night, I had aces. I don't know if there's a similar hand, and somebody called my raise, and the flop was jack, jack, jack.
Mm.
And I bet, and he calls. And I check on the turn, and he checks. Like, I'm already thinking, I just don't want to go bust this hand, which is probably perverse. I mean, it depends on my mood, but I think when I'm late in tournaments, I'm much more like stack preservation rather than, I've got this guy beat kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind getting a little less out of my hand, and then I bet on the river, and he min raises.
That's a jack.
and yeah. And
no, you can't fold, though. I don't think.
No. On Merge, they have the little faces you can type in. Smile, cry. Guys drinking. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's kind of funny. Yeah. So I typed in sigh, which shows like a guy taking a deep breath, whoosh, little face, and then I called, and of course they had Jack Queen. So it kind of, I always feel like there's these hands where I don't, again, it's hard to always, the guy could be raising you with crap, saying, oh, he's got a weak ace, I'm pushing him off it with my pocket fours.
Yeah.
But I don't know, what'd your first instinct say? Did you say, oh shit, I think I'm beat?
When the king came out and I made 2 pair, I instantly thought that is probably not the best card. I was much happier to have 1 pair ace than 2 pair ace king. And I don't know if it was his min raise or what it was, but I just felt like I was behind. And but then there was the other part of my brain that, the little devil on my shoulder that was like, you have top 2 pair, idiot. Put it in. And but then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, what is he raising with there? He's checking the flop with pocket aces. He's checking the flop with kings, queens, jacks, maybe even tens. He's probably tens, actually, because he's afraid that I don't have an ace, and I'll slow down. He's probably re-raising there with aces, kings. He's not doing it with queens. He's not doing it with jacks. He is doing it with tens. He's probably doing it with ace 10, and he's
doing it with sevens.
Well, is he 3-betting with sevens? That's what I wasn't sure about. Is he 3-betting an under the gun raiser with sevens? Maybe. Is he 3-betting an under the gun raiser with queen jack? Maybe, but probably not likely. I don't know. I took my time on this one, which maybe was a tell. I don't know, but it seemed to me like more hands that were beating me doing this race, than I could beat. And but I listened to none of that, and I shoved. And he insta-called, and he showed king.
Oh.
Yeah. So the case king came out. And then, and of course there was a 10 on the turn to give him a vote, or a 10 on the river to give him a vote, which there was no other ace. So.
Right. Well, like you said, it's a monster hand.
Yeah. I don't know if there was a way to get away from that, though. I think if I was going to get away from it, it would have been to fold there on the turn to his min re-raise, but but I don't know. I don't know if that's even.
Yeah, I mean, you can make like a strong argument, like I say, for just checking the turn as well.
Yeah.
Because he's never folding better, obviously. And he's probably not calling with worse. I mean, I guess, if he's got ace jack or ace queen, you want to get him to put some money in there.
Yeah.
Which probably are in his 3-betting range.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's hard to kill yourself with. I know. I mean, you should always. I know they say every single hand you should just be playing what's the best profitable way. But I know, like, if it's late stages, 40 big blinds, I'm never like psyched to get ace king in. And regardless of what the flop is, I've lost too many things with some dopey 2-pair hand somebody has, or stud, or this or that. Where right away I'm going to be kind of a little suspicious there, yeah. But on the other hand, I mean, that's a line I personally take too, where I'm the 3-better, and if I've been c-betting a lot, I'm like, well, this, and maybe having to fold to a jam, I'm like, well, this is a good time just to not c-bet, even with position, or especially because there's position, and then just raise on the turn.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the turn card is. So, it depends on the villain, but certainly against good players, there's going to be a lot of bluffs in their range.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, but if your first instinct is, I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing that kept me
it's amazing how often the first instinct is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've played that exact hand, 100 times, and it feels like, I don't know, more often than not, I'm going to know which way it is. I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know. That's not really a strategic answer there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think checking on the turn.
Okay.
Obviously, if you just bet on the I think he's calling with kings if you just if you lead out. I mean, I think he's kind of obligated to. Yeah, I don't know if that's a hand I'd be beating myself up too much with, but
Okay. Alrighty, yeah, maybe not. My first instinct was that he had kings, and then he exactly showed that, and I thought, was that some like wizardry, mind reading, soul reading hand there, or did I just see the worst thing? Did I see monsters under the bed, and then when it actually happened, that's why I'm even talking about this hand now? Or
that's exactly how someone would play a set, and you've seen it before, and
some random synapse fired, and then
it happened again. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could also justify. I mean, I don't really like this either. Is just flatting his raise, and you're committed absolutely to calling the river regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
But the possibility, if he is bluffing, then you're because by jamming here, you're getting his bluffs out.
Oh, that's a good point.
You're either way ahead or way behind.
Yeah.
So I would prefer just flatting and calling whatever river shove there is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, if it's a jack or a queen on the river, you hate it because now there's, the straight possibility too, in addition to.
Yeah, but if for whatever reason he was getting out of line with nines, then you can snap him off.
But at this point, you get, if there's some reason he's going to, if that's the move I'm going to make, then I'm going to like tank forever. Use up my full time. Yeah. I kind of believe in these timing tells. Sometimes.
Oh, they're huge. Yeah.
So like I would tank forever, hopefully like if the guy was bluffing, obviously if he's got it, he's shoving the river too, and you've got to pay him off because you've got more than half your chips in there now, right? Yeah. So, but that's about the thing that I would probably change. I don't mind the checking on the flop. I don't mind the leading on the turn. And here, folding, I guess, like I said, is probably the play. But I definitely don't. The more I think about it, I definitely don't like shoving it in.
Yeah, yeah. I like your line there. Just call his min raise, then check to him on the river and call regardless of what it is. Because then if he's for whatever reason he has 5-6 suited or something, then his only chance is to shove, and then I can snap him off.
Right. I mean, if you shove there, he's probably calling. I don't know. Is he calling ace 10? If you shove the turn, probably still calling.
Yeah, I would think so. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, just to show the flip side of it, if he has ace queen there and he raises and you call, he's definitely checking behind on the turn. I mean, on the river. On the river.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get full value in that situation where he thinks maybe he's raising for value.
Yeah.
Whereas if you shove, he's absolutely committed to it and has to call with the ace queen, and he's nearly drawing dead.
Yeah.
So there's both sides of it, but yeah, more likely he's got kind of a crappy hand that he's totally bluffing with, or he's got like the nuts on you.
Yeah.
More than, I mean, if I were him with ace queen there, I think I'm just checking back. Like you could be shit maybe as king 10 or whatever. So
yeah.
So I think if you ran it through, it's probably a little more profitable there just to flat his raise.
Yeah. Yeah. And then check call.
But again, like I said, you got 9 damn hands in the villain. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Some of these top players that I play against on Merge, they're just so balanced and consistent. That bet would have given me no information. Like, you know what I mean? Like it could just as easily be a bluff as be the absolute nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, with that stack, would you start with 40 big blinds?
37.
And at that point, when you call the 3-bet and then bet the turn, you've got less than a quarter of your chips in there, right?
Yeah.
So you're not really, again, it's another thing. If it's 21 big blinds, you're just, okay, F it. If he's got me, he's got me. I can't fold. I've got too many of my chips in there, but
yeah.
Folding was certainly an option there.
Yeah. Okay. All righty.
You want me to do one more hand, or should we skedaddle here? I think your mom is she heading off?
Yeah. We should probably wrap it up. We got 5 episodes this coming month in March, and so I think each episode we could probably get an hour and a half for each one. So yeah, let's go ahead and.
That sounds good. Well, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Mom. Did you have fun?
Oh, sure, I did. I enjoyed it. I didn't have much to contribute, but I enjoyed
it.
No,
it was fun. It was fun.
Okay.
Fun.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for asking me.
Yes, thanks for coming on.
Okay, it was nice talking to you, Mike.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Okay.
Steve, have a great day.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All right. You guys take care, and to the Heads Up Poker Nation out there, you guys can hit us up on Twitter it's the @HUP podcast. Hit us up on Facebook, Heads Up Poker Podcast. We have a blog, Heads Up Poker podcast.blogspot.com, and send us an email. We'd love to get your guys' strategy hands. We'll talk about them on the air it's headsuppokerpodcast@gmail.com. All right.
We are, if you don't mind me, Steve, I know it can be like a semantic bully jerk here. We are the Heads Up Poker Village. We're not a nation quite yet.
Okay, the village.
But villages are better than nations. Nations are big and messy and people fighting and stuff, and villages are they are intimate.
Yes. Last week we were a little pueblo. Now we've graduated up to a village. Maybe pretty soon we'll be a clan.
Right. Okay. I got you. We've had to put a couple pup tents in the back of our two bedroom ranch here, just so people can stay over.
We'll have to put up an addition here soon.
Okay, man. Well, I got to go do my thing too, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay. You guys have a good one.
Yeah.
Take care. Thank you, Mom. And
you're
we'll
welcome.
talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. That some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself and say, God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. Why did this have to happen to me? For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, godlike feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us.
It's very important for you to believe that you are the one. Most people, they raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves. That a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation. And most people don't work on their dreams. Why? One is because of fear. The fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? These are not risk takers.
You spend so much time with other people. You spend so much time trying to get people to like you. You know other people more than you know yourself. You studied them. You know about them. You want to hang out like them. You want to be just like them. And you know what? You've invested so much time in them, you don't know who you are. I challenge you to spend time by yourself.
It's necessary that you get the losers out of your life if you want to live your dream. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning.
When you become the right person, what you do is you start separating yourself from other people. You begin to have a certain uniqueness. As long as you following other people, as long as you being a copycat, you will never ever be the best copycat in the world. But you will be the best you could be. I'm telling you to define your value.
That everybody won't see it. That everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that you are an uncommon breed. It's necessary that you align yourself with people and attract people into your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and unreasonable, people who are refusing to leave life just as it is and who want more. The people that are living their dream are finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them.
If you want to be more successful, if you want to have and do stuff you ain't never done before, number two, I'm asking you to invest in you. To invest in you.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. That you don't have to go through life being a victim. And even though you face disappointments, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself.
This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Period.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities.
And some of you right now, you want to be, you know what I'm saying, you want to go to the next level. I want to counsel, you know, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor. Listen to me, you can't get to that level. You can't get to the level economically where you want to be until you start investing in your mind. You're not reading books. I'm challenging y'all to go to conferences. I dare you to invest time. I dare you to be alone. I dare you to spend an hour getting to know yourself. When you become who you are, when you become the person that you were created to be, designed to be who you were designed to be, when you become an individual, what you do is you take yourself and you start separating yourself from other people. I challenge you to get to a place where people don't like you, it don't even bother you no more. Why? Because you're not concerned with trying to make them happy, because you're trying to blow up. You're trying to get to the next level. I need you to invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. If you still talk about your dream, if you still talk about your goal, but you have not done anything, just take the first step.
That you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. You don't let nobody steal your dream. After we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. You can live your dream.